What is going on, y'all? It is the end of the year and probably my last video for the year. But with that said, something that I wanted to do for this one is just talk about some of like the favorite tech items that I picked up throughout the year, and also like non-tech items, kind of similar to my monthly favorites video that I did a few months back that I didn't do again after. But starting next year, I will be rolling out that video at the end of every month. So if you like this type of content, be sure to let me know by hitting that like button down below, as well as the subscribe button, so that you can continue to get more content like this from me. Oh gosh, let's jump into this. There's so much I want to talk about because your girl's been shopping, y'all. I need to sit down somewhere. Now I'm gonna break this video up into like categories in terms of the things that I like. So we're gonna talk about tech items that I like, phones that I've been enjoying, accessories that I've been using, and then the non-tech stuff. One of the first tech items that I want to talk about is actually one that I'm holding in my hand, the iPad mini. This right here, I honestly didn't know if I was gonna keep the iPad mini. I almost didn't know where it fit in my life because I had an iPhone, an iPad Pro, and my M1 MacBook. Do I need an iPad mini? But I still found a way, y'all, to not only fit this into my life, but not want to remove it either. Like I found myself, sitting on my love sack here, which we'll talk about, looking on my iPad, watching videos, even jotting down notes for videos, like my key points. I like to jot those down up here so that I can refer to it in the video so I don't miss anything that's important. I use it to check my email. I do find myself grabbing this a lot more than my iPad Pro between the two devices because I love the form factor. It's large enough to give me a lot more, screen real estate, but still small enough to fit and use with one hand. And it works with the Apple Pencil. This has kind of been like the extended version of my phone for me, like when I don't want to get on my computer, when I don't want to use my tablet because that's also a little bit too large and my phone's too small, that's when I come to the mini. Sounds kind of complicated, doesn't it? I don't know. But I'll say if I had to choose between this and my regular iPad, if I had to pick one, I think I'd go with the mini. Okay, moving on. Now the next tech item that I've been enjoying is the LG Cord Zero. This is how you know you entered into adulthood, when you get excited about a vacuum, y'all. Like, oh my God, that's when I'm like, okay. I can remember a day and age where I would just look at this and, keep it moving. This is definitely like my current favorite vacuum. And it has a lot of different features, but one in particular that I feel like makes it stand out from the others. You dock it at its docking station, and not only charges it, but it also auto empties the trash in which you've collected, or the dust or whatever you've collected. It even has compressor technology so that when that area is full, you can kind of push down that button and it'll compress it. It also has a mop attachment, and that way not only can I vacuum my floors, but I can mop my floors as well. Now this thing has been coming in so clutch for me, especially because I just moved. If you saw my last video, then you know that I recently purchased a house, and it is a lot that is going on behind the scenes here for me to get my life together. So I'm currently trying to unpack and set things up, and I'm a little OCD, so there's like constantly dust or debris or parts of the packaging and stuff like that I've been able to clean up on the fly because I love being able to just grab this vacuum, go to work, and then dock it, and then it auto empties itself. Like sometimes when you have to vacuum, the setup or the process to get it going in general might have you delay the process. But with this, because it's cordless, it's lightweight, and it auto empties the bin and charges the vacuum, it just simplifies things to kind of like almost encourage you to go ahead and clean up the mess in the moment.
Forgot to mention is that you don't have to hold any buttons down for it to vacuum. You can just hit the button and it goes.
And the nice thing too here is that the docking station will hold up to 6 cleaning tools. So everything is literally right there at my grasp when I need it. And I love the fact that I can adjust the length of the wand so that if I need to get up into the cracks and corners of the ceiling, I can do that. Now my next piece of favorite tech is the Nintendo Switch OLED. Okay, disclaimer, I know, because in my monthly favorites, I think I had just picked up the Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing edition or something. I don't know which one I had picked up. So I got the OLED, y'all, and I like it. I don't think it's necessary if you currently have the latest Nintendo Switch, but I still don't regret picking it up. I love the fact that the screen is a little bit larger. I can see it better in direct sunlight. I also like the kickstand. It's much better, than what we had in the prior years. And the battery life. The battery life up here is good as well. Like I did get Grand Theft Auto, but I haven't really played it up here. I got the DLC to Animal Crossing, so honestly, that is what I've been playing, and I've been playing it so much, y'all. If you play Animal Crossing, you gotta go back to your island, right? You gotta tend to your island. I've been playing the DLC so much that I haven't been back to my own island in weeks. Like, Yeah, that's a whole video in itself, which if you've been following my channel, then you know I've been working on trying to get an Animal Crossing or Nintendo Switch channel rolling. So it's still in the works. I know I say that every time. Y'all hold me accountable. I know some of y'all have been checking on me with it, but I'm still working on it. I'm still actively working on it. I just have to get my streaming setup set up. Another tech item I've been enjoying is the GoPro Hero 10. I actually have a whole video about this. I'll link it down below, or I'll try to drop it up in here somewhere, but this little action camera is so much more than an action camera. Like, I know for me, when I hear GoPro, I instantly think about people just doing random adventurous things, jumping off cliffs, you know, going swimming, stuff like that. And then I would find myself saying, like, you know, I'm not that adventurous. Do I really need a GoPro? Yes, you still can use a GoPro. If nothing more, for one of your tools that you use to vlog, with the capability to be rugged and take on adventure when you have those moments. Because the camera quality on this is so good, and you have all these different viewing angles, so you can make it super wide. You have the option to level your image as well, so that regardless of when you're tilting your hand, it doesn't tilt your video. You can record vertical videos. I think it goes up to 5K. And it also has a front-facing screen here so that you can see yourself when you're recording. And my favorite feature, you literally just hit this button, boom, you hear it beep, and now it's recording, just like that. Like, it doesn't get much easier than that, you know? So I love the simplicity of it. And not quite screen with my setup that I'm vlogging. GoPro Hero 10, definitely one of my favorites this year. This next thing right here, y'all, is definitely going to help you, and it's free, which makes it even better. And it comes from the sponsor of today's video, Asurion, as they're offering free tech support during the holidays
From December 24th through December 31st.
I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when you gift tech items, you find yourself, you know, having to set it up for that person, or they might be less inclined to use it or open it out of fear of the setup process. But when you have heroes like this, taking on a battle that you might once had to face, it just makes the gift giving of these different tech items a lot better. And they're not just helping you set up phones and things like that. They're also helping you set up tablets, gaming consoles. And on top of that, these experts will even show you some tips and tricks for the device that you're setting up. So honestly, if I were you, and what I plan on doing actually myself, is with these tech items, I'm gonna have a little card or paper in there that's gonna have this number, 855-355-8324, which is the number to call Asurion Tech Support, so that their experts can help my family and friends, and yours as well, set up their new tech items. I still can't believe that this is free. Anyway, back to the video. Now this next item, I haven't fully enjoyed, you know, like I haven't been able to maximize it, but I am so excited that I don't care. I still put it on my favorites list because it is in progress, and that is the Samsung Frame TV. This is another item that I have always wanted. I said, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself. So I got the TV that I always wanted. I went with the 75-inch. It was on a nice sale as well for Black Friday, which gave me even more incentive to get it because it was like one of the largest sales that I personally seen it on. But this is the vision that I have for my living space, so that, you know, it's like a little conversation section with a built-in, and then the Frame TV will sit on the built-in, like right in the center. And the main reason, honestly, that I went with the Frame TV is because it doubles as wall art. So it's not just this big black screen when it's not in use. You could have it actually display art, whether that be like your own personal pictures or pictures from the Samsung store. It'll look just like art on my wall when I'm not using it. And knowing me, I'm probably gonna do a video about it once I have the setup complete and everything like that, but just give me a little dash insight on what the plan is, the vision is. I have at least used it, but I haven't maximized it, you know what I mean? So that's to come. Now for this next category, phones. These, I will say, are just a few devices that really stood out to me this year that I have absolutely been enjoying using. And the very first one that I want to mention is the Google 6 Pro. There's so much I just love about this phone, from the design to the actual experience that I have with it, onto the camera. I mean, just look at the design of it, y'all. Like, the color alone is so unique. But I will say, when I get questions about this phone and I start talking about it to others, I think I kind of like default to showing off the camera. That is one thing up here that I absolutely love, especially the magic eraser feature, where you can literally remove something or someone from a picture. Technology, man. Another phone that I've enjoyed this year is the Samsung Galaxy Fold 3. Just look at the screen on it. Can you see that? It is such a pleasure to look at, such a pleasure to hold. It kind of actually reminds me of like my iPad here. This definitely takes productivity to the max. I enjoyed handling some of my heavier tasks up here that I didn't want to use my phone for. And then to have that fold technology where you can make it, you know, more of a candy bar style smaller phone when you don't need all of that screen real estate is a nice touch. But one thing you don't sacrifice, even with this foldable larger design, is the camera. The features that you get with the quality of the photos that you get, especially with that rear-facing camera, I love it. And the third phone that I've been enjoying is the iPhone 13 Pro. So this is the phone that I actually did a video on recently. I used to be a Max girl, you know, like I used to always get the max version of the phone, the biggest version. But when I tried the iPhone 12 Pro, I realized I was completely fine with it. So I kind of used that same mindset for the iPhone 13 lineup and just went with the iPhone 13 Pro. Like the Max is nice, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit too big for me. While we're talking about this phone, let's dive into our next section, accessories. Because I know I'm gonna get some questions about this case. So this is a case that I got off Amazon. I was using the Apple leather case. I did like that case, enjoyed it and all, but I wanted something a little bit different. And because it has this square shape to it, I think it really takes the look of the phone and changes it. Like I find that people ask me what phone am I using versus when I was using the Apple leather case, they knew what phone I was using. It's super comfortable in hand. I don't have any complaints there. The one thing though that I'm trying to figure out how I feel about it still is the button layout. Because this is one of the more recent pickups that I've had. The buttons seem a little bit too sensitive at times and then not sensitive enough at other times. Like the cutouts are completely fine, but sometimes I find that when I hit the power button, it acts like I'm activating Siri, even though I just pressed it as I normally would. Or there's times where I hit my volume buttons and it doesn't respond. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but it's not yet to a point where I dislike the case, but it is something that I noticed in using the case. Another case that I've been enjoying is this one here for my iPad mini. So I've been back and forth between using the Apple case that comes with the iPad mini. So I have that, but when I'm not using this one, I'm using this one. Isn't this cool? It makes it look like a little notebook when it's in here. I actually had this iPad case for my bigger iPad. So when I found it for the iPad mini, I had to get it because it truly looks like a freaking notebook. And now another accessory that I'm using that I hate the fact that it doesn't work with this case. Like this case does not have MagSafe, forgot to mention that. So when it comes to using MagSafe accessories, you will have to take it off. But I will do that so that I can use this. So this is my MagSafe little pop socket. So it's actually two pieces. It's the MagSafe circle and then it's this pop socket that adheres to it. So this altogether I think cost me like $30 something, I wanna say. But yo, I'm telling you, I've always enjoyed pop sockets, but I did not enjoy having to commit to having it stuck to my phone, you know, like I didn't want that. So the fact that I can snap this on and it's really secure, you know, when I need it, and then remove it when I don't, I'm sold. But I find this super handy to kind of relieve that pressure that I accidentally place on my pinky when I'm holding my phone without it. Because when I'm using it, I'm more inclined to hold my phone like this. It allows me to, you know, relax my hand a little bit. I also love using this to get like a more secure grip when I'm filming, especially when you're filming in scenarios where your phone's kind of hanging out of a window or hanging over a ledge or something. Holding it like this can be a bit nerve-wracking, but to have the security, in my head at least, of this while still holding it like this, I don't know, it just allows my hands to relax a little bit, relieve some of that pressure, but still have a nice comfortable grip on my phone. And on top of that, it can also double as a stand. So, you know, I can just prop it down. I don't know if you can see that, but there we go. And use it as a stand.
And big shout out to my friend Darren for putting me onto this.
Now, another item I'm enjoying right now is this Pro Mist filter. So this is something that I recently picked up. So this is kind of like monthly favorites mixed with yearly favorites, because I know I probably mentioned recently picked up more than once in this video. But anyway, the Pro Mist filter is on the front of my camera right now. So this is what it looks like with it. I'm gonna take a moment now to remove it so you can see the same shot without it. So this is the same shot without the Pro Mist filter. I don't know, y'all let me know which one you like better. I kind of like the soft diffuse look of the Pro Mist filter at certain times, you know. Now the next item that I want to talk about is this big thing right here to the right of me that you can't even see completely in frame right now, and it is my love sack. This is another item that I've always wanted and decided to treat myself with. I got this and the foot sack. The foot sack is basically the blanket to this. The cool thing about the foot sack is that it has like 2 big pockets at the bottom that you can put your feet in. Cause you know sometimes when you're laying on the couch and you got the blanket on you, you tend to wrap the blanket around your feet to like tuck them in. With the foot sack, you actually have 2 dedicated pockets, one for your left foot and one for your right foot. And the pockets are so big, you can comfortably move your feet about and still keep them warm. So I have that in the wombat material and the love sack. I don't have the largest one. I have the one next to it. I think it's called the super sack. And I have that also in the wombat material. And I couldn't be happier. The only problem is right now where I currently have it, it's too large. It's like the width of the entire couch in here. So it's not gonna live in this room. It's gonna actually probably be in like my editing room or something so that when I'm not editing, I can relax on it. But for the time being, it's living in my loft. So yes, I love this thing. It is so comfortable. So the cool thing about a love sack is that it's like a beanbag, but not. Because instead of having beads inside, it has Durafoam. And the Durafoam works more like memory foam and shapes around your body. Definitely worth checking out. Now, another non-tech item that, you know, I just can't get enough of is this bag, this tote. It is by Cise. I don't know if I'm saying it right, C-I-S-E. It's a black luxury brand. And when I saw this on my IG, I had to get it. And it basically says protect black women. It's made of vegan leather. It comes in a couple of different color options. I went with the brown one, but I just think it looks so good. And then look at the bottom. You actually have the little feet down there as well so that when you put it down, it's not actually touching the tote's surface. You got a little protection there. It's the attention to detail for me on this. You do have a little pocket inside, and even though you have these short straps, it does come with the longer one as well, which I have yet to use. I've just been kind of carrying it like this. But I love this bag not only for the quality, but also for the messaging on it. Support your black brands and protect black women. I do have some personal goals for myself, and I'm going to speak them and I'm going to share them, or a few of them, with you. One of them in particular is to create that Nintendo Switch channel that I've been talking about for forever. I'm gonna do it, y'all. It's happening next year. Seriously, for real, for real. And you can feel free to follow me on Instagram and Twitter to get more updates about it. I also plan on starting a podcast, so stay tuned for that. Another goal I have set for myself next year is to create a course. And the 4th goal that I have set for myself is to update my merch. And the last goal, but honestly one of the most important, is to expand my team. But currently right now, I'm looking for an additional editor. If you're interested and you want to learn more about what the position will require and things like that, I'm gonna have it linked down below. It's basically a Google Doc that you can fill out. It takes probably all of 30 seconds of that. I didn't ask for much. Now, these are just a few goals that I have for myself, and honestly more of my business related goals. So that's gonna be it, y'all. It has been an awesome year. Oh my gosh, it's just hitting me that this is my last video for the year. But you can always still stay connected with me on Instagram and Twitter. I do hope you all have a happy holiday and an even happier or wonderful new year. I will see y'all in 2022. Let me know down below in the comment section some videos that you want to see next year. What would you like to see more of? Phone reviews, videos like this, tips and tricks? Let me know, because I'm definitely going to come back to this video and look at what you said and try to double down on those things next year. As always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.